guys, it's Angela, and I want to first and foremost say, hey, welcome to my channel. And if you have not already subscribed, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell so you always are up to date when I post something new. So today we are going to talk about dealing with difficult people. And this is something we'll probably talk about more than just once, but this one thing that I do totally works. Stay tuned and we're going to share that with you, okay? So I want to start off with this. When I was younger, my mom told me a story about a time where when she was dating my dad, and she had gone to a party and she wore this dress and she just thought she was so cute, which she probably was. Very biased, of course. And so she goes to the party, she has a good time, and a few years later, she kind of runs into some of the people that were at the party. And one of the ladies walked up to my mom, and one way or the other, she started trying to put my mom down and tried to say things about my mom's outfit, and went so far as to describe the outfit that my mother had on. Now, if anyone knows my mom, you know that did not go over well. Okay, my mom loved the Lord, but she would lay them out like it was nobody's business. And so one of the things that my mom said that I can repeat was, evidently I look so good you remembered it. Here it is all these years later and you can describe my whole outfit. So that right there, and my mom said, and then she smiled at her and walked away. And so that is one of the things that I have learned over the years is so effective. But smile, keep your cool. There is no reason to let anyone get under your skin so bad that you have to mess your face up and show an attitude and get all upset just because they're mad. For instance, the thing, when you're dealing with difficult people, like I said, there is no reason, not one, to let them push your buttons to the point that now you cannot enjoy an event, or you have to feel like you have to second guess yourself, and now you're feeling ashamed because someone else wanted to try to call you out. It's not worth it. Get over it. Put that smile on your face, put those shoulders back, and know exactly who you are. When you see them and they realize that they haven't pushed your buttons, they'll move on. 9 times out of 10, they're going to move on because they did not get the reaction that they were looking for. See, a lot of times people will try you. Okay? They will try us because they want to know just how far they can push you. Now, sometimes you can smile and send them on their way, or sometimes you can just smile and ignore them. Whichever way works, works. But the bottom line is, you don't need to get back and forth with them and start, going back and forth and arguing and acting ridiculous. It's not worth it. Trust me. For instance, I went to a restaurant to meet some friends, and for whatever reason, the hostess was obviously not having a good day. And so instead of greeting me, she greeted the couple in front of me and, had that taken care of. But instead of greeting me, she just looked at me and rolled her eyes in the air as though I was imposing on her special time. And, all I could do was laugh. But that's just me, because it was so silly and ridiculous. And I think that's one of the keys, is that when you realize that you own your own power, that no one can take that away from you. Now, you can give it away. But when you know who you are, who cares what anyone has to say? And so if someone else is having their bad moment, let them have it. What is the point in me getting down into the bad moment with her just because she's having a bad moment? It had nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. I had not offended her. I had not done anything to her. She didn't know me. So why would I get upset? She may or may not have even known that her facial expressions were, maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Who cares? Who's to know? And so I just kind of smiled and waited. Not only did she roll her eyes, she turned around and walked away. Well, someone else walked up and seated me within moments. It wasn't even that long. But I got a chance to walk up to my friends, and I hadn't seen them in so long, and we just sat and laughed and enjoyed. The food was terrific, and I had a great time. Now, whether this woman felt offended by me walking up or whatever her feelings were, I wasn't going to allow it to ruin my luncheon with my friends. And I think that's one of the things we have to keep in mind. What is your purpose? Why are you here? Why are you letting people push your buttons? Why? What do they matter? Do they really matter that much? I mean, I know people today, believe it or not. I said that, but we can all have this happen. But what does that have to do with us when other people just decide they don't like you? You could remind them of someone else. That has nothing to do with you. It could be your outfit, or they don't like leather. I don't know. It could be anything. But the point is, you don't allow it to be about you. And now, see, there's a difference. That's if you know that you've done nothing to harm them, or even if you have, you've already apologized, you've moved on. Now, if they don't want to forgive, deuces, see you later. Thanks for checking in, gotta go. Now, if it's something that you don't even know them and they have an attitude, it's a free world, or so they say. Have your attitude. It's not going to bother me. I mean, people don't have to like you in order for you to have a good life. Sorry to say it, but that's just the truth. And quite frankly, the better your life, the more chances you're going to run into people that don't like you because you have a good life, or what they perceive as thinking you're better than they are. Don't worry about that. You continue to strive to do your best. You just continue to strive to have the best life that you can have, and being kind and loving. Smile and wave. Move along. And so, instead of getting yourself caught up or offended, now sure, there are times where you can say what needs to be said. I mean, I can I can remember a time, and those who know me know that generally I'm going to smile, and there will be times where I'm going to say something. When my boys were younger, we went to a basketball game, and I homeschool, so my kids they weren't familiar with the dynamics of, you gotta wait, buy the tickets, and go, through the gym and all. And they were little. When I say little, I don't even think the youngest was even, I think he was probably just like early elementary school. So definitely little kid. And middle-aged, but anyway, middle-aged gentleman starts saying to my son, yo, Leroy, you're going to have to wait. And so my son, who knows his name is not Leroy, has no idea what's going on, and he's still walking. He's so excited because he's going to see his cousin, and she was cheering on the team, and so he was so excited to go. But of course, they weren't going to go far from me. My kids, they don't go, when they were that little, they already knew not to go too far from me. And so he's just standing there, and he's all excited. And so my son looks at me, and I said, honey, what he meant to say was, excuse me, you can't go back there until your mom pays. So baby, come stand next to me until I pay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his whole face dropped. All I did was smile, paid the money, did what I needed to do, and kept going. Because while I handled the situation, I didn't allow the situation to handle me. You got to be bigger than what's going on around you. Now, see, that's just something, from way back then. We deal with stuff on a day to day basis. Traffic issues. Man, I was driving today and it seemed everybody wanted to just be in front of my vehicle and go slow. Well, guess what? So be it. I have choices. I can go around them or I can go slow. Or I can choose to get all upset and frustrated, and then I can't do what I need to do because I'm so mad because those people know that I'm trying to go somewhere because all of a sudden they have ESP and now they're trying to hold me up. Meanwhile, you stressed yourself out, and wherever you were going is not going to appear faster just because you're fussing and yelling and all upset and cursing and blowing the horn. But now your heart is racing. You're all upset. And sometimes we wound up with headaches from all this stuff. And then when we get to our destination, we feel horrible because then it takes time to kind of unwind all of that tension. And so instead of doing all that, man, let people have their stuff. Just let them have their mess. The Bible says, to be careful about listening in on conversations, right? And that's the other thing. Sometimes we want to know so bad what other people are thinking about us that we're listening to things that we don't need to listen to. That is something that will steal your joy away. We can't allow it. And then we're dealing with these difficult people who sometimes want to say it in your vicinity. They want to say it that they let you know that they're talking about you. Well, who cares? Who cares? Now, I could just be talking, or I could be talking from experience, which I am. I mean, there are people that I have known for over 25 years. Still don't like me. No problem. I don't like them either. But you know what? If it's just certain people that if you see them, you can still say hi. You can still be polite. You know who you are. You can still let the light in you shine so bright that the love of God can still flow through you. And I love people because I love the Lord. But there's some folk, not my people. And that's okay. Everybody's not going to be my people. I'm not going to be everybody else's people. And we're good with that. But people I've known there's some people for a long time, just maybe you live in the same neighborhood. You can still be polite, say hi, how you doing, sit, extend your niceties and move along. Smile, baby, and wave. I'm sorry. Now I'm cracking myself up. I have had people that even as I say hi to them, they walk away as though I'm not speaking. And one time that happened, and I was already in it. You know how you already in it, like, hey, how you doing? And they ignored me. Man, why did I turn around? Why did I continue with the hello? I was like, hey, okay, I'm good. How are you doing? Man, it was so funny to me that I started laughing. I mean, I just had a good time at my own expense. But to me, it magnified just how obnoxious that is. We are adults, and the least you can do is say hello. But if you can't, I got your hello. I got one for you and one for me. We have got to learn how to stop internalizing other people's mess. And maybe it's because, I've done some some nutty stuff, and I'm over it. Okay, I am over it. I went to the airport at one point to take my uncle to the airport, and for some reason, I had it in my mind that I wasn't going to have to get out the car. Why was I thinking this? I don't know. But I pull up, and my uncle needs assistance, which I knew, I just wasn't thinking. And I was like, well, I have to go inside to go and get the persons that are going to help him. So I have to do this with no shoes on. I don't even think I brushed my hair. It was down, but it was just mad. Anyway, so I'm telling you the truth. I walked through that airport with my shoulders back and took those strides like I do when I'm wearing my 4-inch heels. Not on my toes, of course, just made, nice steps and walked over there, did what I needed to do, and walked back. And my uncle said, "Are you serious? You just went in there with no shoes on?" I didn't have any shoes. I had to go inside. And yes, it could have been embarrassing, but to whom? At what cost? It's just me. It's just, what difference does it make? My feet were not going to fall off just because I had to walk through the airport. I mean, I hope not. And, I wasn't going to just melt because people stared at me. And yes, of course, people looked at me, but they did not necessarily say anything. And I think it was because I looked like I knew what I was I looked like I knew what I was doing. So have some confidence in yourself. Build yourself up. Don't let what other people think about you shape you. Start encouraging yourself. Start laughing at the little things, and therefore when things happen, you're not falling apart. Start surrounding yourself with good people, good friends, so you're so filled up that what you're pouring out is goodness. And when people come with mess, you don't have time for that. You can just move on, let them have their cup of mess, and you just keep smiling. You just keep living your life. Now, like I said, you can smile and walk away. You can smile and say what needs to be said if you need to. You can smile and boldly do whatever it is that you need to do. All I'm saying is, don't let difficult people stop you. Okay? Well, listen, I'm going to stop right now. I'd love to hear your opinion about some of these and share some of your examples too. And I will look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care. Have a wonderful day.